the record, please.
Thank you. Kim Waller, 2533 Buffett Mill Road. I'm here today speaking as an individual. I would like that to be clear from the beginning. I'm not speaking for anyone else on the Ethics Committee, and I'm certainly not speaking for the committee. No one on the committee knows anything about what is in my remarks I'm about to make. I'm here to speak in favor of and to urge you to vote for Mr. Hammond's resolutions. In the few months that the Ethics Committee has been functioning, we have received letters protesting or complaining about situations in county government, but no letters with specific enough complaints to merit the committee's further action. These letters do, however, point to something important, and that is the evidence of our citizens in Knox County having a deep concern about government officials, both elected and appointed, and the behavior of those officials in representing citizens. There's also concern over government employees and how they conduct themselves. We were selected to be on the committee to represent a cross-section of citizens of our county, and I believe that as a committee we do that. Commissioner Hammond's resolutions ask that the Ethics Committee make recommendations. As he said, that's all, a recommendation. It does not ask that we set the policy. Ultimately, that is up to this body, and I believe everyone on the Ethics Committee understands and knows that. Taking recommendations via the Ethics Committee would demonstrate to our citizens that this body is serious about the issue and that this body actually trusts the Ethics Committee it appointed. It would demonstrate a positive and proactive step towards reassuring the public in Knox County. As a member of the committee, I can tell you that in my observance of the committee members, which does include 2 county commissioners, it's clear to me that we take our charge seriously, and I don't believe any member of the committee has a hidden agenda. I myself only seek to represent the constituent group I was appointed on behalf of, which was school employees. Is that right, Mayor? I feel that our citizens want to voice their recommendations through the committee. And as I wrap up my comments, I just want to leave you with a comment. I was privileged to hear Robert Parham, who is the Executive Director of the Baptist Center for Ethics in Nashville, and he had a wonderful quote in a speech he gave that I heard. And he said, "Ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do and what is the right thing to do." I urge your support of these resolutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim.
Mr. Chairman, I think everyone knows how they're going to vote, so I'm not going to belabor this except to say that I think the public should understand who we are asking to bring these recommendations before us. Reverend Ron Stewart is the chairman, who is pastor of one of the largest Baptist churches in the Carnes, in Knox County, in the Carnes area. Franklin Shanklin, who is a local business person. Kim, who you just heard from. Rex Davis, former member of City Council. Julia Tucker, who's been on school board. Martha Phillips, who we all know. Mike Duncan with the Knox County Sheriff's Department. Mr. Pinkston and I are on it, and of course you can think what you will about myself, but I believe that these are honorable people, and I believe that they do, as Ms. Waller said, take their charge seriously. I don't think that they have hidden agendas. They want what's best for Knox County. They have agreed to serve on this with no pay, and they're taking some abuse, and that's okay because that's part of it when you get into public life. So I would just encourage you to vote to allow the Ethics Committee to make recommendations. Let's see what they come up with. It may be a great policy. It may be the worst policy ever in the history of county government. But at least let's give them a chance and let them work on it.
Thank you, Commissioner Hammond. Commissioner Trammell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I agree with Commissioner Hammond. We do need to put some teeth in this policy, but I think it needs to come from this body. I think the Ethics Commission needs a guideline to go by. And, you know, you can bring it up and be vilified, but you need Mike to bring it up next time. It may go a little farther.
You just need to go to him next time.
Yeah, that's right. But I think that's our job. I really do. I mean, we're in, you know, there's tough decisions that we have to make here, and we need to make these. We need to put the rules on ourselves and have the Ethics Committee police us. And, I mean, you can't legislate morality. You can't put something on paper and tell people not to do it. I mean, we have thousands of laws on the books, and they're broken every day. Everybody knows their own heart. You know right from wrong. You just got to do it. But I think it's up to this commission. I think we should, and if you want to appoint a different committee to expand on policies and procedures that we need to follow or that county employees and officials need to follow, let's do that and give it to the ethics committee and then let them go to work. But I don't think I don't believe that this is exclusive to Knox County. If you look throughout the state, the state itself is having problems with its ethics commission. It's brand new, and it's not going to come out of the gate and work perfectly. We've got to tweak it. We've got to work with it, and we have to, listen to the citizens, to what they want, put it into policy, and then let the ethics commission do their job. But I think our job is to put that policy in place for them.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Trammell. Commissioner Case.
Hey, Mr. Chairman. A question and a comment. Am I to understand that this would apply to all school teachers, county employees, as well as
every elected official and every employee in Knox County government?
I really have no problem with the Ethics Committee bringing us recommendations. I do think that at the same time, we need to have the law director or whoever needs to do this, maybe our staff, gather up all the policies that are in place so we have something to look at the same time we do it.
Now, we've got a substitute motion on the floor asking the law director to, over the next 60 days, check around the state, come up and see what other counties are doing. And with CTASC and our association, along with their association, I'm sure there's people, as I sit on the board of directors for Tennessee County Commissioners Association, I hear commissioners from across the state dealing with the same issues that we are dealing with. And they're saying, what do we need to do? Well, maybe we need to get CTASC, the one that came up with this policy, to go back and revise it for all of the state of Tennessee. Maybe they're already doing that. I just think we get in a big hurry around this community whenever the newspaper says we're doing something wrong, that we try to do a knee-jerk reaction, and most of the time we end up in a worse situation than we do now, than we've got right now. So let's just slow down. Like Commissioner Trammell says, you're not going to legislate people to have good ethics. Either you've got them or you don't. And I think for the most part, people in Knox County have good ethics. I think all this started in Nashville with some people breaking laws, not just ethic violations, but broke the law. When you take $800,000 in contract money, I'm sure that they wasn't really concerned about an ethics policy, even if they'd had one. The FBI took care of that, and they'll do us the same way. So, Commissioner Norman or Commissioner Case?
Let me make sure I understand the parliamentary situation. If we want to gather up all this information from other places, we need to vote for the substitute motion, which kills the original motion. So,
well, yes, it will kill the original motion, but they can bring it back to us and we can decide what to do with it then. Maybe we do need somebody to look at it. But let's get the information and see what everybody else is doing around the state. It doesn't hurt to take 60 days to study something and ask the law director to do it.
Can't we combine these some way and get both things started at the same time?
Well, don't you need the information before you set out somebody having a charge to do something? Because we're going to be expanding something that the state didn't really set up to give them authority to do. Even though we can give them the authority, wouldn't we rather have the information to look at? They may come back from CTASC and have a policy that looks good.
Well, I'm still struggling with the law director's instructions why Ms. Waller and everybody else can't just bring us some recommendations, but that's over my head.
Well, in my opinion, whatever the policy comes out is that our local newspaper would be all over it, and the commissioners who voted against it would be very bad commissioners, that we don't care about people. And I just think that's unfair. And I'm not going to be put in a situation like that. Commissioner Norman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm kind of new at this public service job that I've been elected to, but certainly it's become apparent to me that there's a huge issue of public trust, mistrust in this body, and I have no fear whatsoever, and I noticed that there's hardly been a person on this body that has not been slammed by the newspaper for one reason or another. And I have no fear of what's going to come from an ethics committee. I would be amazed, and I am amazed, that an ethics committee, that a group of people will try to take on this task. It will